Hello, and welcome to another presentation of the Solid Sports Video Blog. This is episode 226. Today's date is March 18th, 2023. I'm Troy Weston, and thank you again for joining me. Got a big show today, a lot to talk about, a lot of days happening in the NFL, the NBA, and MLB. So we got a lot of things to talk about today. Just to say thank you for the support, as always. I just appreciate everything. Also the NCAA tournament started, so we got a lot to talk about today, so I'm not going to try to waste too much time and get into the video. I appreciate you guys so much, like I said, for the support. Like I said, things has been up and down the last month or so, but we making it. But I like I said, I just appreciate all the support always. So of course we're gonna start with baseball because we don't have a lot of baseball fans in the world. At least it seems like it's not a lot of. And I did my top 5 pitchers as well. Almost forgot about it. I had to scrap up a list real late last night, but I was able to put together a top 5 started pitchers list. So I'm gonna share that with you. We're gonna talk about the World Baseball Classic as well. The NBA, a lot of off the court stuff. The Ja Morant latest, what's going on with Ja Morant. I'll get my take on that. Michael Jordan selling the Hornets. I see the report about that last night. So we'll talk a little bit about that. We'll look at the standings and the playoff picture in the NBA as pretty much about a month away, probably less than a month away to the playoffs begin. So we'll talk about that. And Aaron Rodgers looks like it's a short deal that he's going to the Jets. So we'll talk about that, and we'll talk about other free agency news in the NFL. And like I said, we'll touch on the NCAA tournament as well. But let's start, like I said, with the baseball news. Probably the biggest story out of the World Baseball Classic so far is the injury to Edwin Diaz, closer for the New York Mets. That's a big blow for the Mets. Now they're going to have to replace him. He tore his patella tendon. They say he was celebrating. I think he played for Mexico. I might have to check that. In fact, let's see. We could check that now. I think he played for Mexico. I'm not 100% sure. I want to say it's Venezuela or somewhere else, but we'll check it real quick. But that was a bad injury. So everybody been saying, maybe they shouldn't, or at least MLB players should participate in the World Baseball Classic, which I have to disagree with that. Taking a quote from one of my favorite movies, Heat, with Al Pacino and Robert De Niro, and Al Pacino was when he was like interrogating a criminal. He was like, "Man, I could get killed." He said, "I could get killed for telling you this," but in so many words, he was more graphic. And Al Pacino was like, "Well, you get killed walking your doggy," and I think that's what I thought about, like when they were saying, just don't do it at all. Like you can get hurt by practicing, you get hurt at home. Like there's a lot of ways you can get injured. So I'm not going to blame it all on the WBC because he got hurt. It's unfortunate, but I can't. I don't get that take by some people. Said they should just do away with the WBC because he could have hurt another way. So yeah, I'm checking it now. I think he played for Venezuela or Mexico. Oh, he played for Puerto Rico. Okay. Puerto Rico already, I think, been eliminated from the WBC. So let's transition into that. Well, he's still young. He's 29 years old, so he could come back next season and be himself again, hopefully. So let's look at the WBC now. Yeah, it's a bad injury, and I had him as my top closer, well, my top relief pitcher, just by, what he did last year. And I'm looking at the score now. Puerto Rico did make it to the quarterfinals, which is the quarterfinal rounds now, and they did lose last night to Mexico, so they are officially eliminated now. But I thought they was eliminated before the quarterfinal. United States play Venezuela tonight on Fox tonight, so another nationally televised, so you can watch the United States. Hopefully they move on to the semis. So Cuba's already in the semifinal, and Japan is as well. So Mexico, the win last night, so Mexico played Japan, and USA or Venezuela will play Cuba tomorrow. So yeah, so that's the semifinals, and they coming up. So that's the update with the World Baseball Classic. Probably like the most disappointing team that didn't make it, I would think it was the DR, the Dominican Republic. The deep talent that they have, I thought they would have probably been one of the top 4 teams. Japan with Satoni, which we will talk about in a few minutes, is just dominating the WBC. Right now you have to say they're the favorites to win the whole thing, but we'll see in the next few days. I think the championship is Tuesday, so kind of quick. It was only 2 weeks long, so it didn't take that long. But I disagree with people that are saying because of the Diaz injury that they should just not do the WBC at all. And maybe I'm just speaking from a fan's perspective. And I would have been upset if one of my, me, you see my hat, I'm a Braves fan. So I'm not saying it just because I'm a Braves fan, because the Mets are loaded. They still going to be a good team this year, I believe. They just got to fill that hole with this closer spot. But even if one of my Braves would have got hurt, I would still be saying the same thing. So, or Oreo, because I'm an Orioles fan too. But yeah, so I disagree with that, what most people are saying with that right now. Okay, let me share my top 5 pitchers list, starting pitchers. By the way, because I did a relief pitchers, so this is my last list. To next week we'll probably start looking at divisions. We still got a few weeks left before the season. I think we got about 2 weeks left, so I might just do the whole preview the whole American League and the whole National League in back-to-back weeks, and then have a big preview show. Probably be sometime during the middle of the week. I try to fit it in during the middle of the week like I always do. NBA playoffs are coming, so I do a special blog about that as well, previewing that, giving my predictions and everything. I give you my predictions on MLB, and I'm not, like I said, I don't have, especially in both leagues, especially the National League. The National League is deep with a lot of good teams. The American League might be easier to predict to be. Like, it's only pretty much 2 or 3 teams that stand out to me that I think will make it in the American League. Houston being one of them, defending champions. So, we'll talk about all that in the coming weeks. So, here's my top 5 starting pitchers list. Max Fried, the Atlanta Braves. Left-handed, big guy. Quietly been having consecutive great seasons on the mound for the Braves. As a Braves fan, I've been following him a lot lately. I got him number 5 on the list. Number 4, Satoni Otoni, LA Angels. Seeing what he's doing in the WBC. I think he had they said he pitched 102 miles per hour fastball. Then he could hit. He's just an all-around freak of a player. And I mean that in a good way. But he might be a better pitcher than he is a hitter, which is crazy to say. But I think if I had to choose, I think he's a better pitcher than he is a hitter right now. So I got him at number 4. Max Scherzer, number 3, New York Mets. Yeah, bounced around the league, and he's a little older. But to me, I'm gonna go back 10 years. He's been the most consistent pitcher in baseball the last 10 years. And when I was doing the research on this, in some lists, he's in the way down, like near 20th. And because he was hurt last year, had up and down last year, but he was injured. Yeah, but he's the best pitcher I've seen in the last 10 years. Hands down, over Kershaw, even over Justin Verlander, even though I got Justin Verlander on this list. But Max Scherzer to me is somebody that I definitely want handling the ball. But then, I had to be fair with from the last year and everything else, so I got him at 3. But to me, he's clearly somebody I would want pitching for my life. If my life was on the line, I would definitely want Max Scherzer to have that ball. He's number 3. Number 2, Sandy Alcantara. I hope I'm saying his name right. He came out of nowhere last year, won the National League Cy Young for the Miami Marlins. Miami Marlins is a up and down team, but he still had a good record and a good ERA. Never seen him pitch, so hopefully I could try to see him pitch this season. But I had to put him number 2. He just won the Cy Young, even though the American League Cy Young winner is not on this list, but he is, and he's number 2. And number 1, Justin Verlander of the Houston Astros. Like Scherzer, veteran. Always somebody you can hand the ball to. Will give you 7, 8, 9 innings if you need him to. Though at his age, I gave him the respect to give him the number 1 on this list. Like I said, this list, this is pitchers that's not on this list that deserve to be on here. That probably deserve to be number 1. It depends on who you like, what style of pitcher you like. I'm a little bit old school, so I like pitchers that go longer, and Justin Verlander is that person. Like I said, he's 39 years old, so that makes it impressive what he's been doing, and I gave him respect, so he's number 1 on my list of starting pitchers. So number 5, Max Fried of the Atlanta Braves. Number 4, Santonio Tony of the LA Angels. Number 3, Max Scherzer of the New York Mets. Sandy Alcantara, I hope I'm saying his name right, Miami Marlins. Number 2, and Justin Verlander, Houston Astros, is number 1 on my starting pitchers list. Alright, so that's it for our baseball for the week. Like I said, next week, I think I'm going to start the American League. I'm going to do American League, sort of American League preview. Look at all 15 teams in the American League, and then we'll do the National League the week after, which I think will be close to the season. So I have to check and see when the season is, because it's day the 18th. So next Saturday will be the 25th. I think the season starts that week after. So like during the week after. So I'm gonna have to. I'll probably just touch on, just do the whole league, just touch on all the teams quickly, and then do a major previews sometime during that week. So stay tuned for it. I announce it on social media and here on YouTube. So get ready for that, baseball fans. Okay, let's move on to the NBA. The NBA is sort of quiet, like I said, the NCAA tournament started, so the NBA usually sort of get quiet for a couple of weeks until the playoffs. But a lot of off the court stuff, especially with John Moran. I touched on this last week. Ever since he's been out, supposedly he went and got some counseling in Florida. He talked to Jalen Rose. I didn't see that interview myself, but I see that a lot of people talked about the interview. Basically, he was contrite. He took responsibility for his actions. The last, all these things that's been coming out. Then there's one thing the media ain't really talked about. There was this video surfacing about him, him in a strip club, basically enjoying himself. But the thing is, once one day come out, it's like a snowball effect. They start finding all this stuff. And like I said last week, and probably since I started talking about this, he's a young man. I think he should be able to enjoy his life, but unfortunately, you gotta watch it. Everybody's got a camera now. Everybody would want to jump on a train to try to take you down. I just hope he understands that. Like I said, I don't know his, the people that's around him, because people say, well, just get away from that. People, I don't think it's that simple. I think it depends on the people that he does keep in this company. A lot of people criticize his dad. I don't know his dad either. Maybe his dad should be a little bit more involved, but we don't know what his dad saying to him, so I didn't touch that either. So I'm not gonna say his dad need to be doing this because he's a grown man. So even if his dad not saying anything, it's still job responsibility to handle himself. But the NBA, he talked to Adam Silver, I believe. Talked to the NBA. He basically it's 8 games he got suspended. So including the games he already missed for being suspended indefinitely. So I think it's another 8 games. So it's probably like 7 or 6 now because Memphis has played, I believe, since the announcement that came out. If not, then it's 8 games. He'll be back basically around playoff time. Memphis is going to make the playoffs. Probably going to be at least a 3 seed in the West. I think they're going to be there. Honestly, I think this might be good for Memphis. Sort of get, Dylan Brooks still doing his stuff. He got fined for shoving a cameraman or something last night or something, or the other day. But I think this is going to focus this team. I think in the playoffs they're going to be a very dangerous team. I think Ja is going to be focused, so I think you're going to get the best of him. So Memphis to me in the West was going to throw a monkey wrench, even though some people doubting them. Even I've said they needed to get themselves together, but I think this might be a blessing in disguise. I think he's going to be motivated. He's going to play great basketball, and it's going to carry over to the postseason. So Memphis will be a team to watch out for in the West. We're going to look at the standings in a second. So that's the latest on him. But like I said, I gave my opinion. I think he's just young and trying to figure things out. But unfortunately, like I said, regardless of unfair or not, he got to keep his nose clean. Stay out the news. Stay out, now, especially now, everything he do on the outside, somebody's going to be watching and recording him, unfortunately, or basically he definitely can't do anything anymore without somebody checking him. So that's the latest with him. I just wanted to touch on it again because it was an update. But he's taking responsibility. That's all you can ask for. Even though, like I said, he didn't do nothing really, really wrong to me. He just enjoyed himself. But far as with the incident with the teenager, whatever, he supposed to punch or something, yeah, that's sort of crossing the line. But I also agree with, I watch Kwame Brown Bust Life, so definitely check him out. I watch him a lot since he came onto the scene now about 2 years ago. And he was saying, because he used to play in the NBA, so I take his word like gospel. Basically, he said, it's people out there that's that entice you to do something because they can just sue you, and and that's why I've never been a type, like, I haven't seen a lot of I'm just gonna use the word celebrities, even though Kwame don't like that, but I'm just gonna use that word for this, for the sake of argument here. That's why I never got so starstruck, because they, like, everybody's human. It don't matter how much money you make. It don't matter your status, what you do for a living, entertainment or not. You're still a human being at the end of the day. So I would try to treat that person like a human being instead of, like celebrities. Most celebrities don't want, they just want to be able to just go and just live a regular life. You walk to the store without everybody running up to them, and I don't want to use the word bother, because some fans are good heart. Most people, kind-hearted people, they don't have bad intentions. They just, you don't get to see a Ja Morant every day or LeBron James every day. So when you do get to see him, it's like, wow, But at the same time, you gotta remember that they're human too. They have families, things of that nature, just like you do. So what if you was just in the market per se, and you shopping and everybody's running up to you, probably got your kids with you, so I can understand how hard that could be from the outside looking in. But I think Ja's gonna be alright. I think this is a learning experience, just like everything else in life is. I think the young man is gonna be okay, and I think, like I said, I think he's gonna be motivated on the court. He ain't been he loved to play basketball, so I think that's why I think Memphis is gonna be dangerous, because he's gonna play great. Like, I'd be shocked if he come back and don't play good basketball. So okay, so let's move on from that. Michael Jordan, I see this report. talking to sell the Charlotte Hornets. I mean, a little surprising. I thought he would, he would keep the team, but he, I think Mike probably just ready to chill out too. He's sort of larger than life, just like I was saying. Probably, I think he just had a birthday in February, so I think he's 62. Don't quote me on that. I think he and my mom the same age. My mom, if she was living, she would be 64 this year, so he's probably 63, 64, something around that. And maybe he's just ready to just relax, because I can imagine it's taxing. He's the only minority owner in the NBA, I believe. So, and he's, we know who Mike is. If you know Michael Jordan, you know how great he was as a player. But as an owner, as far as like having good teams, haven't worked out. Even though I think Charlotte was on their way up. The LaMelo Ball injury pretty much derailed their season. I don't think they're gonna make the play-in. But and even before that, owning the Hornets, Bobcats, and then what he did with the Wizards as well, so subpar. As far as like picking talent and producing it on the court, so. And I believe, allegedly that's how him and Charles Barkley fell out. Because Charles Barkley pretty much criticized Michael Jordan credibility as owner, GM, quote unquote. Charles pretty criticized him, and then they had a falling out behind the scenes. I think Charles Barkley talked about that. So. But I think I wasn't overly surprised, but it's I didn't think it would be now. I thought it would be maybe a few years from now he would think about doing it. But Mike is okay. We know with the Jordans, you don't need this team, so I think he just want to relax. That's my take on it. I think he just want to live the rest of his life, chill, play golf, and things of that nature. He'd be able to do a lot of that more. He'd never have to work again for the rest of his life. So, it's gonna be interesting though. I wonder who's gonna buy it. I wonder if it's gonna be another minority, or I think he's gonna. I believe if he's gonna try to sell it to another minority owner, if he can. I don't think he's just gonna pass it on to anybody. So we'll keep an eye on this as it develops. But unfortunately, kind of, I won't say sad about it, but I was hoping that he would keep the team a little longer, but hopefully he'll sell it to another minority owner. But we'll see. But like I said, maybe he's just tired of it. Maybe he's just ready to relax. So we'll see how that works out. Alright, so let's look at the current standings of the NBA. And the playoff, somewhat of the playoff picture. Let's see. NBA. Alright. Let's look at some scores for last night. No major games jumping out here. Oh, Mavericks as out the Lakers. This probably was the biggest game last night. Still no LeBron yet, but I think he's close to coming back. I think I saw a report on that. Oh, speaking of LeBron, like, I've been seeing, as far as all YouTubers and other people reporting that LeBron, somebody came out and accused him of taking PEDs, and it's not getting a lot of media coverage, and a lot of people criticize the media for that. I don't know. I mean, I will admit this. When LeBron first came to the league, and then when you get older, you get bulkier, and stuff like that. But I wouldn't be shocked if it's true. Just how his body, how and unfortunately, like when he's 38, because I'm 39. I think I'm a year older than him, so he's 30. I think he just turned 38 in December. He's doing stuff that no 38-year-old has done before. He's been in the league 20 years already, pretty much. Like Kobe, he wound up breaking down. I mean, he did Cape Strata High School, so he got a lot of trade. He played in the playoffs pretty much every year he's been in the NBA. So all those games, all those minutes he's played, he's all-time leader scorer, and et cetera. But like I said, I'm gonna use my baseball take on this. You don't want nobody cheating or having an advantage. But he never failed the test. I think they test for that in the NBA. So I'm not gonna, until we see more, I'm not gonna really talk too much about it. But it is kind of weird that every time something come out about LeBron, it's sort of just it get talked about for one day and then it's gone if it's negative, So or off the court, I would say. If it's something off the court, they don't jump on LeBron as much. So I have to agree with, if this is somewhat true, that it's not getting a lot of coverage in the media. But at the same time, I need more evidence. I need more people to come out and say stuff. Because basically, I think it's just one person saying it. So until then, until I see a real report. But see, you might not never see one. I think that's what the people is criticizing the media for. So, but I just can't give my full take on it. But if he did, I'd be a little bit disappointed, because LeBron, preaches, take care of his body and all that stuff. So if he's taking PEDs, I would be a little bit disappointed. I'll admit that, but I need a little bit more before I really believe that he did or not. But at the same time, I would be surprised if it's true. So alright, so let's look at the standings in the NBA. We still got a lot of time. We're rolling today. Only been on about 30 minutes. My NFL news usually that's what I get the long with it, but there's not a lot really. It's just a lot of free agency news, but we're gonna get into that. Okay, let's look at the East. Milwaukee, number 1 in the East, 50 wins, first team to 50 wins, already clinched the playoff spot. The Bucks, to me, got to be the favorite to win the title. Despite all the stuff they got going on, they still got the best record in the NBA. They number 1 in the East. Boston, 49 wins. Number 2, Philadelphia, number 3 with 47 wins. Like I said, they did 3 top teams in the East without question. I said that every week when we talk about this. Cleveland, to me, started to separate themselves from the rest of the East too, but I still think they're a tier above the top 3 teams. But Cleveland will be something to mess with in postseason. New York Knicks, clear number 5 as well. I think they showed me enough that they are formidable as well, and I think Cleveland, New York is pretty much destined. They're gonna play in the first round, 4 or 5 matchup. Brooklyn, like I said, people thought Brooklyn was going to fall completely off the map. But Brooklyn, if you look at their roster, they're not a bad team. They don't have a superstar anymore, but they got some good players there. They got a lot of good players back from the trade for Durant and Kyrie. So I think they still at least going to make the play-in. So I don't think they're going to fall completely out of the postseason. Miami, like I said, I just believe in the Heat because of their organization and Jimmy Butler, what they stand for and everything. But they also too inconsistent to me. But I think they'd be a playoff team. Atlanta, same thing. Sort of inconsistent. Toronto Raptors, to me, sort of disappointing. Like I said, I thought they would be a little bit more established in the East, but they 9th. 10 Chicago. I think Chicago's, well, really, I think the East is set. I think all these teams are going to make it down from the Bulls or down. I think it'll be Chicago, Indiana, or Washington. They're going to fight for. I think Orlando as well got a shot. It's starting to get slimmer, but Chicago, Indiana, Washington, one of those 3 is going to get the last spot. But I think Toronto, Atlanta, and Miami, and Brooklyn, I think they are safe. I don't think they're going to fall completely out. So I think the East is pretty much set. Charlotte, of course, now officially eliminated. So when I said earlier they're not going to make the play-in, it's not possible. They're eliminated in Detroit as well. All right, we go to the West now. Denver Nuggets sort of been struggling the last week or so, but they still number one in the East. They're 47-23. Sacramento number 2, tied with Memphis with 42 wins, 27 losses. They own the tiebreaker, so they 2, Memphis 3. I think their top 3 is set. Phoenix, of course, we know the Durant injury, but still formidable team. Clippers, interesting. Like I said, Russell Westbrook seem like they starting to get the hang of things, but Kawhi Leonard and Paul George still are great players. So the Clippers have got to be a team you watch out for. Dallas, like I said, I believe in Dallas. I believe in Kyrie Irving and Luka. I think they're going to figure it out. Defensively, it'll be their weakness. The Warriors, not the same Warriors, championship Warriors, but they still the Warriors, so you got to watch them. Minnesota, if they get Cat back, they could be a dangerous team. They get Karl Anthony Towns back. OKC, like I said, I think they're going to make the play-in. And the Lakers, been playing better, but still just in that team. I think pretty much the West is set. I think these are the 10 teams that's going to make it. Utah going to, they trying to lose on purpose. New Orleans just too inconsistent as well. Zion pretty much made them dynamic. Blazers is just Dame, and that's it. So I don't think they're gonna make it. Houston and San Antonio already eliminated. Houston, they're playing a little bit better though. They beat the Lakers the other. I think they beat the Lakers the other day. They beat Boston not too long ago. So Rockets played a little bit better. That's the standings here. Like I said, I think pretty much the teams that's in the top 10 is going to be the top 10. I think only question to me is in the East, that last spot. Chicago right now owns it, but I think Indiana, Washington, and Orlando will have something to say about that. I think Toronto, Atlanta, and Miami, Brooklyn are all safe. I don't think none of those teams gonna fall all the way down. In the West, same. I think the 10 teams are there, like it's just positioning, but I think the 10 teams that are locked in now is going to be the 10 teams that make the playoffs. So, we'll see. Alright, so that's our NBA news for the week. So we got about a half hour left, so we got plenty of time left. We're rolling this morning. Usually, like I said, the NFL is usually when I start to get the rambling. But it's a lot of news to cover, but it's not a lot. It's basically free agency stuff. But of course the biggest news is Aaron Rodgers. Basically it's almost a done deal. Him getting traded to the New York Jets. The Jets already signing players to help Rodgers. Lazard, who somebody he played with in Green Bay for a while, he was signed by the Jets yesterday. So everything's looking that it's going to happen. They just tried to work it out, I believe. I heard. So it's going to be tough. But I think it's just really similar to Brett Favre. Like I said, Brett Favre got traded to the Jets in his last few years of playing. Then he wound up going to Minnesota to finish his career. Now I don't think Rodgers is going to come back and play for Minnesota or anything of that nature. But the Jets might not be his last team, depending on how that goes. But I think it's going to be interesting because I think the AFC is so deep. So it's no sure thing that the Jets going to just walk through. I think they become the second best team in that division though. Even over Miami, even though I like Miami, they've roster. But Tua is the question mark, which we'll get out of Tua. They made some moves. They traded for Jalen Ramsey this week. So Miami is going to be a formidable team to deal with as well. So I think Buffalo's still number one, but Buffalo is starting to come back to the pack. Some in-house stuff going on with the Bills. So Bills not a sure thing now. So Jets and Miami can make some noise, and New England, can't forget about New England, just Bill Belichick pedigree, and they got Juju Smith-Schuster. So the AFC East is going to be interesting next year. especially if Rodgers joined the Jets. It's pretty much going to happen. It's just trying to work out terms and everything else. I think with his contract and compensation, all that stuff. So still no news on Lamar Jackson, so I'm not going to talk about Lamar Jackson this week. But like I said, say it again just to say it. Ravens messed up. They should have signed him after he won MVP, but they didn't, so now you paying for it. Jimmy Garoppolo to the Raiders. I think that happened last week before, so I think I might have talked about it already, but that's interesting signing. He's familiar with Josh McDaniels from New England, so but the Raiders, like I said, AFC, making any improvements is good, but it's no sure thing. That was a big signing that did happen this week, so that was the biggest free agency news right there. Orlando Brown Jr. going to the Bengals as they try to shore up that offensive line. I think the Bengals now is the clear number one in the AFC North, because I think the Ravens, like I said, we don't know if Lamar's going to stay or go. Cleveland is still a question mark, even though they got a good team as well. And Pittsburgh, their quarterback is a question as well. Kenny Pickett, will he improve and take a next step? Let's might as well just touch on all the divisions. Let's stay in the AFC. We talked about the West a little bit. Kansas City didn't make no major moves. Chargers either yet. And who's the other team in the West? The Raiders. We talked about the Raiders. Denver. Just other than Sean Payton, they haven't made any major moves. South been quiet as well. But I think Jacksonville, Jaguars, who they signed some. Kevin Ridley's back off suspension, so he's going to be a big. The Jaguars, to me, is now the best team in the AFC South. Tennessee, I think they hit their ceiling. I think they need to pretty much make some changes. Who else we got there? The Colts, to me, I don't know what the Colts are doing. They're supposed to be releasing Matt Ryan, but they in shambles to me. And what's the other team in the South? Tennessee, we talked about. Jacksonville, we talked about the Colts. Who's the other team in the South? Let's just look at. Yeah, this will help. I hate when I get these brain freezes. Houston, Texas. Well, that's why I forgot. That's why I forgot about the Houston, Texas. But they got some young talent, so they're not completely in purgatory. I think they'd be better next year. They competed hard, despite their record. They was 3-13. That was 3-13-1. I see here, but they played hard. They wasn't a 3-win team by effort. They played hard all year long, so I give them credit. NFC, Dallas made a big move. I think a Quavo. Speaking of the Colts, getting Stephon Gilmore on that defense, but I think the people started to come around at Dak Prescott, saying that he ain't what they say he's going to be. So he got to look in the mirror, because he's only going to go as far as he goes. Philly signed Darius Slay to an extension, but I think they lost a corner. But I think with Jalen Hurts, the way he played last year, the Eagles will be fine. Giants signed Daniel Jones. We know about that, to the big contract. I think he can play, but I just think Davol was good for him, the coach. So hopefully the Giants can expand on that. They franchise tag Saquon Barkley. And the Commanders, Washington, rumors that they looking at Lamar, but right now they don't really have a quarterback, so they got to figure that out. North, like I said, we talked about Green Bay, no major moves. They about to lose Aaron Rodgers, possibly. Detroit, to me, is a team to look out for next season. Minnesota haven't done anything. Bears, of course, traded their number one pick to Carolina. That's the news they did. Tampa, Baker Mayfield. They signed Baker Mayfield this week. That's an interesting signing. But the Tom Brady rumor started to come out again. But I think if he comes back, I don't think he's going to play for Tampa anyway. But now I'm starting to believe he's going to come back and probably wait till training camp this time to come back. But I think Tampa is going to move on from Tom, though, and I think he wants to move on from Tampa. Carolina, like I said, traded for the #1 pick, so they must got a quarterback in mind. So I'm thinking they're not going to be pursuing Lamar anymore. New Orleans side, their biggest side has been Derek Carr. I think right now you got to see New Orleans is the favorite to win that division. And Atlanta, I still think they try to get Lamar. I think they just try to play it cool. But I think if Lamar do get moved, I think Atlanta would be where he goes. West, San Francisco now, who's the quarterback will be? Brock Purdy. Will he be ready for the season? Jimmy moved on, so is Trey Lance the answer? I think that's San Francisco's biggest question. Is he the answer? But they haven't made any big moves in free agency. Seattle's locked up Geno Smith. I think that was a big move for Seattle. Rams and Arizona. They're gonna be two interesting teams next year. Is Matthew Stafford done? Is he done? Is he's gonna come back and have a good year? Because if he don't, the Rams gonna be in trouble next season. They lost Jalen Ramsey, so now Aaron Donald pretty much the anchor of their defense now. And the Cardinals, I like Kyler Murray. Can he bounce back? Been rumors about DeAndre Hopkins being on the trading block, so keep an eye on that. I like Arizona though overall, but I think they made the right move getting rid of Cliff Kingsbury. We'll see what the new coach do. So those two, Arizona and the Rams, two teams to watch out for that can make some noise. They got the talent to make some noise, but looking off of last season, can they bounce back? So that's my take over the NFL. Like I said, latest news, the NFL always be talked about all year long. The draft will be coming up next month, so we got a lot to talk about. We'll start going around like I did last year, my division roundabout. Probably started in June. We'll start doing that leading up to training camp through the preseason. So NFL always be talked about with me. I love the NFL. I love the NFL. I know you guys do too. So alright, so like I said, we make a good time today. We got about 15 minutes left. Just some final thoughts, and let's talk about the NCAA tournament. Started Thursday. Well, it started really Tuesday with you got the first four. But a couple of big upsets like Princeton beat Arizona. Thursday was the big upset day. Yesterday, I'm looking at the scores now. No major upsets. I think every top seed won, except for Memphis. They lost 9-8, but that's don't count. But no major upsets yesterday. Every day pretty much. Oh, Purdue lost. Wow. I'm sorry, Purdue, number one overall seed, lost to 16th seed Fair Dickinson. I never even heard of Fair Dickinson before. Wow. But Purdue, now I don't follow college basketball like I used to, but Purdue to me, this is just me. Now anybody can correct me if I'm wrong. Like teams that, like I mean, I pretty much just look at the scores. I don't really look at the box score and stuff like that. I don't know a lot of college players. I can't name any off the top of my head. I ain't gonna lie to you. So I'm sort of a fair weather college basketball fan now. I used to love it when I was younger, maybe because I was that age, that college age. I used to follow it more. But wow, that's huge. I think this is the first number one to lose. Right now, Virginia was a number one and lost to school that I'm familiar with, UMBC, University of Maryland, Baltimore County, a couple years ago. So this is the second time this happened. Well, wow, I didn't, but it's not. Now I'm on ESPN.com. ESPN is pretty much my Bible when I go look for my sports news, but it's not on the front page at all. Oh, okay. It says shock the world. Okay, but it's not the main. It's the number one thing on the headlines. But it didn't say Purdue lost. It say FDU shocks the world. But wow, I had no idea. that happened. Okay, let's. Where was that? Yeah. So I stand corrected. That destroyed a lot of people. Because I think they was the #1 overall seed, I believe. Or was it? Who's the other #1s? Purdue. So all the other #1s must have played Thursday. Okay, so let's look at that. Because like I said, Fordham, Virginia, that was a big upset the first day. Kansas easily won. Alabama, I think Alabama was the #1 overall, I believe, now that I was looking at Alabama. Like I said, Arizona lost to Princeton. That was the biggest one before that. Oh wow, but I'm not that surprised. I'm surprised because I didn't know about it. Houston won, so that's the #1. So it was Houston. So, but wow. But like I said, back in Brussels, man, I used to love it though. I used to love watching it. See, I used to, when I was a kid. I think I told this story before. I was sick one year. I was like in the 3rd grade, 4th grade, and I was real sick. I wound up staying home. And that's when I started following up with college basketball. I was watching. That's what CBS had. CBS was the only channel that covered it, so you couldn't watch every game, and you had to watch it regionally. Now TNT helps out, True TV, another network, TBS. So basically, every game you can watch every game if you want now. And CBS still got they one game, so everybody got they one game. It's not regional, but wow, that was a big upset for Purdue. But I used to love it. I used to love watching the tournament. It was something I look forward to every year. But as I got older, I'm more an NBA person. Like the NBA playoffs to me is something special. The tournament's still great, because that's when I really started getting into it. Like during the regular season, I don't watch much anymore. And then with the one and done rules, a lot of players don't stay in college long to have good teams now. Like Gonzaga has been good for a long time. Duke stayed good. Kansas, like I said, they ain't missed a tournament since the 80s. I think I saw the other day. Like there's 3 teams that always been good, like for the last 20 years or so. Those 3 teams was going to be there near the end. So, but wow, I'm still on the Purdue thing. I didn't believe, but it's not. But you can tell, a lot of people don't care as much because it's not. I know people talked about it, but it's not. I just found out really, honestly, right now when I looked at the scores. So, but it all continues today. Let's look at that. I'll look at the matchups for today. I think the game started at noon again. Let's look at Saturday. Okay, Maryland play Alabama. I don't know if they're gonna win that. Yeah, so every day starts at noon. Fordham play San Diego State after the upset. Tennessee, Duke. Arkansas, Kansas. That should be a good game. Princeton, Missouri. I think Princeton might beat Missouri. They might move on. Auburn, Houston. Should be good. Texas, Penn State. And UCLA, Northwestern made the tournament this year. So, they're your games today. Sunday, Xavier and Pitt leads off. That is Kentucky, Kansas State. Michigan State, Marquette. Marquette's a 2 seed. St. Mary's, UConn. Baylor, Creighton. Van Dickinson off the upset, go against FAU. Like I said, you can't put past Van Dickinson. They might can win that game. Miami, Indiana, and then TCU, Gonzaga. The game's Sunday, so they your games for the next 2 days, and then it starts back up again next Thursday with the Sweet 16. So, yep. But I used to be really into it, but so we're pretty much done. We got about 10 minutes, so let me get my final thoughts out. Like I said, thank you so much for the support. Today, after I get this video together, you've seen that I got a new project, sort of surprise. Like I said, Ratchet and Clank. I've been playing that. That game was so fun. I mean, I forgot how fun that game was. That was one of the first games I played when I got my PS4. It was based on a movie. I forgot they had a movie about it. But it's based on the first Ratchet and Clank. Now I wouldn't mind going back and play some of the retro Ratchet and Clanks. but they did a good job with this game. So you'll see video, what was it, video 5 later on today. I'll make sure I do it, so look out for that. Maybe some more Sonic videos. Now I had a slip up with my second playthrough of Sonic 3. My game crashed, so what's that zone? Casino, not the Casino Night. That's Sonic 2. The Carnival Night zone, and that's gonna get skipped because my game crashed and I had to start over. I had to start. I couldn't go back and start from all the way from the beginning of the zone, so I'm just gonna skip that zone, move on to the Ice Cap zone. So the next one will be the Ice Cap zone. Sonic has been my most successful project. Sonic Origins, with all the Sonic, especially Sonic the Hedgehog 1. They've been my most successful videos, so I'll still be doing Sonic videos here and there. Games I'm looking at: Resident Evil 4, and you might see some Call of Duty today too. Now I'm about to get my, in fact, probably as soon as I'm done, I'm going to get my season pass so I can unlock a lot of my stuff. They got new maps and stuff for season 2, so I might slide a video of Call of Duty today as well. Resident Evil 4, the remake, definitely looking at that. MLB 23, these projects that might be coming up, so check those out. And like I said, every time I record one of these videos, I definitely have to give a special shout out to my friend Yvette. Like I said, I'm living in our home. Like I said, I'm in New Jersey now, which I've already said every video. You go look at my live I did last Sunday to get more detail, but I've been telling her every day that I'm grateful for her hospitality. But I feel good. I've been feeling good as far as like things been working out. Like I said, I already started working, and yesterday was big for me because I talked to some people I wanted to talk to get things off my chest. Shout out to my sister Cheryl. She celebrated her 41st birthday yesterday. She was born on St. Patrick's Day, yes, and I'm glad I got to talk to her briefly yesterday. That really lifted a lot of I guess guilt off my shoulders, because I left. I was working for her and her husband, and I thought she might have been a little upset with me, but I got to talk to her and clear some things, so I was glad to talk to her yesterday. I talked to another good friend of mine, my best friend Trinella, yesterday, let her know what was going on. She's pretty much one of the last to know that I made this move. So I got some stuff I think I need to get off my chest yesterday. And just like I said, I just thank my friend for letting me come here. Stuff behind the stage, like I said, when you come in and you live in someone else's house, there's always little things to work through. Well, we got some personal history, a lot of stuff not going to talk about, but I mean, I just hope she knows that I appreciate her and that I care about her, and I'm glad that she let me come here. And for now, like I said, if anything changes, I'll be doing the blog every week, so every Saturday, like always. Like I said, I'm gonna try to do a special one for the preview of baseball season. I announce when. I don't know if it's gonna be, I think the season starts midweek, so I might have to do it on I might have to just do it next Saturday. And depends on how much it is. If it's not a lot of news next week, I might just focus next week's blog on the upcoming baseball season, just preview the season, get that out the way. Or that's something, just that'll be the focus of next week's blog, instead of doing a separate one. I usually do a separate one for baseball, but baseball, like I said, a lot of people don't pay it that much attention, but I'm always going to be a baseball fan, so but that's it. Let me get out of here. Now we're starting to press on the time now. I appreciate you guys so much for joining me this week. I'll be hoping the videos will be 50 minutes long, but this is gonna be another 50-minute video. Thank you guys so much for the support. Definitely check out all my social media. Go to my YouTube page. It's there in my my about tab. Check out my community tab as well, even though I haven't been posting nothing on it lately, but I'm gonna post this video on there and some other stuff today, so look out on that. I'm gonna post up on social media to let you guys know that the episode is ready, and I appreciate you guys so much for the support. See you guys next week. Wednesday now is my biggest day. I work Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, so Wednesday will be my big day when I drop a lot of videos, and on the weekends I'm off, so I'm gonna do some videos today. Like I said, definitely a Ratchet and Clank. I'm gonna try to fit a Sonic video in there, and maybe some Call of Duty as well, so look out for all that today, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace and love, everyone. Thanks for the support. I'll see you guys next week. Thank you.